Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Words of Radiance is my favorite book in the series so far. This is where we get like the real meat of the story. Like the Way of Kings was really just the intro. It was kind of like a rags to riches story centered around Kaladin, along with like the intro. Like that's where we meet Bridge 4, and that's where we meet Kaladin, of course, and Shallan and Dalinar, and like the major players of the story, really. So now in this book, Bridge 4 is a much bigger part. Like they're much more fleshed out. Each character has like distinct characterizations. They have cool interactions and stuff. And after Bridge 4 saved Dalinar and his army and Adolin from the trap that Sadeas put them in at the end of Way of Kings, Dalinar made them his personal guard. So now Bridge 4 is the primary guard to Dalinar, Adolin, Renarin, and the King Alucard. This book also centers around Shallan quite a lot. This is her flashback story. So as the story goes along, we learn more about currently what's going on with her, and we flash back to her past to see why she is the way she is now. Almost immediately in the story, Shallan is separated from Yasna, and it has to deal with being on her own immediately. Brandon does this part of the story so well. While Shallan is trying to make her way to the Shattered Plains, she has to deal with bandits and con artists and mercenaries and deserters and all kinds of stuff. And she manages to deal with it, picking up some skills along the way and like managing to convince these people to literally join her. So now she has dedicated soldiers to her. She has some skills she picked up from this con artist, and she has a lead to the pretty much the mission that she needs to accomplish when she gets to where she's going. The way she deals with these situations is so awesome. It's like she goes from being a young person who's just like very like curious and kind of impetuous and not ready for any of this and just kind of winging it really, and like just it makes it work. She literally fakes it till she makes it. It's kind of perfect. It's some really good development Brandon added to this character. And so when Shallan does get to the Shattered Plains, she immediately runs into Kaladin, and they immediately hit things off on the wrong foot. Like she's trying to use some of her con artist skills that she's just picked up, and she's basically using them in such a way where she's treating Kaladin really terribly, just based on station and all that kind of stuff. So that just gives him yet another reason to dislike light-eyed people, and it just fuels the fire of his hatred for them, really. And their relationship is where we get a lot of the fun sarcasm and stuff in the book. So Shallan is very witty. She's constantly cracking jokes and stuff. Like not like haha jokes, but like basically talking smack about people kind of jokes, proving that she's smarter than other people by being quippy and all that kind of stuff. And Kaladin kind of sees right through it, and it just kind of exhausts him. He feels like she's trying way too hard. Like so, because one of the main things when she came to the Shattered Plains, she's betrothed to Adolin, to Dalinar's son, and Kaladin kind of feels like she's trying too hard and all that kind of stuff. He's got a lot of mixed emotions about it. So Brandon deals with their rocky relationship by forcing them to be together alone. There's a part in the book where they end up in the chasms alone together, and they go from trading insults to then trading bad jokes to then literally saving each other's lives. Like it was some great development there. Like it was really well done to take these two characters that do not like each other, that do not work well together, that you would assume immediately are going to be enemy type characters, that turn around and become like solid allies. And like it's completely believable. It didn't feel cheesy. It wasn't rushed, and I'm so happy Brandon sidestepped the romantic plot line with them, because you can kind of see it was going in that direction. Like they were going to get together or whatever, and then immediately love triangle because she's coming to this place because she's getting married to somebody else. So I was like, please don't do this. I do not like love triangles. I don't want this. Just don't do it. But he sidestepped it. So good job there, Brandon. Apart from the relationship between Kaladin and Shallan, the relationship between Kaladin and Adolin like develops majorly and takes like a really cool turn. So since the rescue at the end of Way of Kings, Kaladin yelled at Adolin in the rescue, and Adolin still got a bit of a chip on his shoulder because of it, because you know he's a prince and whatever, so he doesn't like being ordered around, and he got yelled at in the process of being saved. And apart from that, like his just general arrogance and stuff like that, like it just always causes him to bump heads with Kaladin. He always calls him Bridge Boy, and like Kaladin calls him like arrogant and obnoxious in these deliberate ways that like Adolin doesn't quite understand because he doesn't quite get it because not super smart. So they have this very antagonistic relationship. Kaladin seems to have a lot of antagonistic relationships. This kind of a pattern I'm noticing. So one of the coolest parts of the book actually takes place dealing with Kaladin and Adolin. So while all this other stuff is happening, there's a plan brewing in the background. Dalinar has a plan. He wants to get all 10 of the armies to come together to assault the Parshendi on the Shattered Plains to end this war once and for all, to finally get vengeance for the death of the king and just kind of be done with it. And so in order to make sure that they have a greater fighting force to deal with this, he wants Adolin to battle these duels, and they have to wager their shard blades in these duels and their shard plate, and he wants Adolin to go win them so he can, give them to his soldiers so they can be better prepared to fight this war. And Adolin, after winning 2 battles pretty easily, like he takes out one guy in less than a minute and then takes out another guy using like hyper precision and stuff and all that, he puts himself in a situation where he thinks he's going to be fighting a 2-on-1 battle, but in reality he kind of got duped and it was a 4-on-1 battle. So it's just Adolin in the arena facing down 4 shard bearers. Like, he is literally a really great fighter, and his arrogance in regards to his fighting is actually justified, but like he can't beat 4 at once. Like, it's just not doable. While fighting this battle and like losing and not doing well, Dalinar is up in the stands trying to figure out some way to help him. The rules say that Adolin can get some help so long as he remains at a disadvantage. So Dalinar is in the audience asking like the king to go and help because he's got a shard blade, and asking like other military people and like just anybody in general, like asking people like, where's your honor, because they clearly tricked Adolin and stuff. And Kaladin hears Dalinar basically begging these people, and he just kind of walks up behind him and says, honor's dead, but I'll see what I can do, and like hops down into the arena to go help Adolin. It's so cool. It's literally the best part. Well, I mean, it's hard. It's a toss-up for me, but I know it's a lot of people's favorite part of the entire book. The arena fight scene is so amazing. Kaladin jumps in with no armor, no shard blade, literally just a spear, to help fight against shard bearers. Like, they have these blades that can cut through anything, and they have armor that is literally power armor that makes them stronger and faster than other people. And he gets in there, he literally kicks ass. Like, he goes in there, he takes one of the guys' helms, and like they form to whatever they're on and stuff. So he takes the helm and it forms around his head, and he uses it to beat the snot out of this one guy and stuff. And then like he gets one guy to quit and to stop, and like he helps Adolin win, and they win. Like, it's so cool. Like I'm gonna want to like make another video just to get to real detailed about it too. Like it's so good. It's one of the best parts of the book. Brandon does the action so well. He writes it so perfectly cinematically, in my opinion. Like, you can see all these images. You can feel the tension. Like, you can feel the heartbeat of everybody in the audience and stuff like that. It's so well done. It's some of the best action writing I've ever read. There's so much that happens in this book that's amazing. Like, at the end, I don't really want to spoil it too much in case you don't know anything about it, but towards the end of the book, there's what people have started to call like the Brandon Avalanche. Like, he just lays on so much stuff that happens at the end, and it all flows perfectly. It all makes perfect sense, and it culminates the storylines in a beautiful way. But it's like so much happens that you're just like, like it's insane. This one, I listened to this on graphic audio, and the ending of this book on graphic audio is remarkable. Like, Dalinar gives a speech to all the armies before they're about to go up against the Parshendi, because at this point they know the Parshendi are the Voidbringers. So like, this is a biblical level battle and stuff like that. And he gives this speech, and the way it's produced in graphic audio, like, it has the rain and the storm, and it has like the echoes and all this stuff and the extra sound effects. So like, apart from the fact that it's already written pretty cinematically, like, it literally has cinematic sound effects. So like, it's impossible not to get completely sucked into it. It's so well done. There's so much more in this story that I haven't even covered. Like, there's this awesome like training montage. Like, Kaladin goes into the chasms to basically practice his powers and learns how to do his different things he can do, and it's intercut with like Shallan's first infiltration mission, because I haven't mentioned like her powers, because she of course has powers too. She has like it's called light weaving, but functionally it's like shape shifting. Like, she can make illusions and things like that, and so she uses it like a spy. She's going on this first infiltration mission for the secret society she's dealing with or whatever, and it's intercut between Kaladin in the chasms learning his powers and stuff. It's in the tones of these two scenes are so completely different. Like, Kaladin's is like learning and getting more amped into what he's learning and like having more fun, and is is revving up speed. Hers is more quiet and legit stealthy and all this stuff, very James Bond like. And then she kind of hits this point where like she got to get better and better. So like you feel her determination at the same time you feel Kaladin's determination, because Brandon synced up those two parts of their story that was going on like so well. Like, even though they're very different type of things that are going on, he synced them up in such a way that they play off each other perfectly. So, and it's like, apart from everything else already been cinematic, like you can see that in your head. Like, it's so well done. Like, I can't gush about this story anymore than I already have. Like, this book is so good. I can't recommend it enough. Right now, this is basically the gold standard for me. It's Words of Radiance. So I'm waiting for anything else in Stormlight Archive to beat Words of Radiance in terms of awesomeness. The conclusion was so satisfying. It was so well done. Brandon did a great job with this book. It's literally one of my favorites ever. And there's just so much I couldn't cover in this video. So I think I am going to make another video where I can get really specific about my favorite parts, my very favorite parts, and like gush about those even more. And so come back and join me next time when I'll talk about that. But actually first we're going to talk about book 3 in the series, called Oathbringer. We'll talk about that next week. So hit that like button, hit subscribe, and come back, and we're going to talk some more about Stormlight.